All right, folks, we have our grand finals coming up here in just a moment. We are waiting for Vici Gaming to give the ready. Before we get in, I want to talk a little bit about the last series and what ended up happening. For those of you that are just joining us, very close series up until the end. LFY, about 7K net worth down or so in terms of net worth against Newbee. And they GG'd out rather early. Of course, only 7K net worth. They still had Monet farming extraordinarily well. There were a couple of misplays here and there, and I think, according to Reddit and according to Xiao8, is really the reasoning behind that early GG out. So what ended up happening was, apparently, I think that big gank where Inflame was holding his skill point for his ultimate on the Abaddon, he accidentally misscaled and got the last point in Curse of Avernus and super TP'd to help out in dire need. And, of course, realizing that Inflame did not have his ultimate there, I think the team got into an argument after the misskill happened, so... Turns out that it looks like both of those two were arguing, Inflame and Super, kind of going at each other. And I think that was why the GG out happened. That happened. So the misskill happened like maybe 5-10 minutes before the GG out happened. But Super and Inflame apparently were really going hard on each other, I suppose. So, although a really weird way to end that series, because it was already looking like it was going to shape up to be a pretty interesting game, a pretty interesting end game. It was a little bit disappointing to see LFY, I guess, GG out in that regard. But, well, here we are, Base Kip. I mean, what an interesting way to get to the grand finals, I suppose. So,
yeah, very strange circumstances to end up here. But Newbee versus Vici, there's good Dota ahead of us. I guess we'll have to see if LFY can sort out their internal issues, but hopefully.
I mean, they played well in that second game, especially. They had a couple of really good moments there, and then it just comes down to that one misskill, I suppose. But yeah, LFY, they have some issues to deal with, but now we have to look forward because we have a full best-of-5 series between Newbee and Vici Gaming. These two teams, they'll have a rematch of their matchup over at Dota Pit, where, of course, Vici got the better of them in that best-of-3 series to move on to the grand finals to play up against Liquid in that best-of-5 series. So these two teams, they know each other rather well. We've seen a lot of good plays from both of these squads, and there's a very interesting pool as well. We have both Dark Willow available. We have the Pangolier available. There's a Techies in this game. There's a whole lot to look forward to here, Base Skip.
Yeah, there's a bunch of interesting stuff going on. There's some big AoE ultimates as well. We've once again got the Void and the Naga both in the pool at the same time, so maybe Vici will now feel pressured to well, they don't have to ban the Void because they have the first overall pick, but the Naga has been removed, so that does make it a little bit stronger.
Right.
What else is going on? There's an anti-mage.
Yeah, there really is.
There's a Storm, but then there's also an Anti-Mage. There's a CK.
Yeah, I was thinking about the CK as well.
But there's like a Shaker as well, so... Or maybe even Timber. I don't know how good Timber is really against Chaos Knight. I've been thinking about it recently, and I'm starting to wonder how good... Like, you need to have specific kinds of AoE for it to work against Chaos Knight. Like, I think Tide is kind of an okay example because it's not completely unreasonable for him to survive getting Reality Rifted, and then he can just immediately Ravage right after that. But you talk about some other heroes, and it feels like it either just takes them too long to clear the illusions, or it isn't necessarily reliable, and at that point CK has already like 1 or 2 shot 2 of your heroes in the fight. So I think you gotta have the specific heroes, and because it's captain's draft, so they may not have the right answer, so CK could also end up being very, very powerful in this pool.
I think this is the first game, at least that I've casted, that both a Dark Willow and a Pangolier have not been banned out. I think they're both available. They can both get picked up. Super played it in one of the games they got destroyed in the series yesterday against VGJ Thunder. I don't know if either of these teams find it to be really strong. Dark Willow especially as well. We've seen Dark Willow, but again, these two heroes are rather interesting. We don't really know where they're at right now. It's still really early on in Captain's mode. If this was a team like Mineski, I would say definitely they would pick one of these heroes, but instead, like you mentioned, Vici will go for the Faceless Void. He is really strong right now. We've seen Monet crush with him. A lot of really good players can play this hero, and Void has been very popular recently. And then Newbee will pick up the Mirana and one more.
There's some good counter initiation available in this pool. I think the Shaker is a good example of that, but the Warlock as well, also a hero that potentially stands out to me in terms of dealing with the Void, or even the Dazzle. Just having either the Grave or the Chaotic Offering to be able to use as a response to the Chronosphere coming out is potentially quite good. And in terms of damage to put into Chrono, there isn't really that much, which is why I think Newbee aren't that concerned about the fact that they've given Vici this Void. Yeah, there's the Skywrath Mage, but we've also seen Skywrath have some pretty games.
Yeah.
In Captain's Draft, and I think just in Dota in general. He can snowball, he can become really strong, but he can also just like do nothing in the first 3 or 4 minutes and then fall off very quickly. But
I like that he's getting picked more, but I agree with you completely. I think we'll see how the beginning of this game goes, and we'll see how this Void does and how the Mystic Flare combos up with it. It feels like an old school TI4 combo, and this is what was really popular back in the day a couple years ago. Gareth Mage faces Void, but we'll see if it can do any work here for Vici Gaming. Other than that, what else is there to pump it into the Chronosphere? Maybe like a Gyrocopter or something, if you're looking for that. That's
I think
about
that's also part of why Newbee take the Marana, right? Because they're like, that's probably the best hero to go with Void here, so let's just take it ourselves.
Easy call.
And there's that Gyro you mentioned.
We're on point today. We're dialed in. And then there's the Dazzle. So, yeah. All right, well, that's a very good hero against Void. And, hey, there it is.
Anti-Magus. All right. I mean, this is looking like a game that Anti-Mage can potentially win by himself. There are some decent heroes against him still remaining in the pool. Sven, CK, and Legion, I think, are all right at like locking down the Anti-Mage and being able to kill him off. But in terms of the synergy of those heroes with what Vici have, that's another matter. They can put the Gyrocopter mid and the Void off lane, though I feel like putting the Void off lane is going to slow down their lineup a lot.
Yeah.
Some of these greedier off lane heroes, I think they can work if you have a lineup that can take buildings early, because then you can use that tier 1 gold to really fuel your offlaner and get them their items that little bit more quickly and accelerate their game. But I don't think that's going to be the case here for Vici, and that's why I worry about them putting the Void offlane.
Yeah, we'll see. They pick up the Enchantress.
Yeah, so picking up the Ench. There's some good damage. If they manage to chrono the AM, can just start throwing imps in there, which is going to be very important given that they are almost all magical damage up until this pick.
I kind of completely forgot about this hero with the Void. You know, we were talking about heroes in conjunction with the Faces Void. This is the one I just kind of let slip out of my mind. And they will grab the Sven, as you mentioned, the lockdown that they need to be able to just destroy the Anti-Mage, and they have enough time, they'll be able to just auto-attack him down and blow him up. And they have the Chrono too, so I like this pick a lot for Vici.
They might be going aggro tri-lane now. In that case, I wonder if Newbee consider putting the Shaker, giving KP the Shaker, so he gets the 1v1 potentially against the Void, and then trying to grab something to shore up their defensive tri-lane a little bit more. Unfortunately, there aren't really any good supports with disables.
Right.
I don't know if maybe they think the Slardar would be a little bit better in the tri-lane versus tri-lane position 4 than the Shaker, perhaps, but I don't know how else they get a really good like 1v1 matchup against the Void. I guess they also have the opportunity to maybe put the Marana there, but then what do they go for mid?
There's a lot of questions for sure. I've got it. Techies.
Pick Dark Willow.
Or that. Either of those choices. Obviously, I don't think that'll happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Dark Willow. Techies is... he's a weird hero. He is a very strange hero right now, and I don't think he's ever getting picked again. Although I would love to see it, but that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, last pick. Minute left. What are we getting? What are we getting? Well,
just pick Dark Willow, dude. Just do it.
I mean, I would. Pangolier, why not? That's your offlane hero. I've seen offlane Pangolier do well. Probably not in this game, though. This game.
Yeah, I wonder how Pangolier is as a 1v1 against Void.
I think he has good animation. His damage is a little bit lower. He could get out of any trouble. His swashbuckle is good in that regard, but in terms of doing damage and beating the Void, probably not.
It's like, all right, KP, we're gonna give you Pangolier, then we're gonna get into the game. We're gonna pause. We'll use all of our pause time. You go over to this other PC, and you can mess around and practice for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. But no, okay, they're just gonna grab the Legion. Pretty solid 1v1 hero. If they do get, so here's the problem: if they get the 1v1, I think the Legion is okay. If they don't, then I don't know if the Legion's gonna get very much against a Gyrocopter, Skywrath, Enchantress. Oh, I guess it's a Sven, Skywrath, Enchantress tri-lane, actually.
Eesh.
But yeah, interesting.
Oh, the Young 11 Void. Legendary play. I'm so stoked to see how Young 11 does in this series, this best of 5 final. I've hyped him up numerous times because of how well he played at Dota Pit. Obviously, KP just as good, I think, in terms of what he can provide as an offlaner. We saw it in game 1 of that last series. I think this series is going to be all about these offlaners, but I also think that the carries are going to be rather impactful as well. I don't know. What are you thinking about? Who is going to be the big impact hero? Who's going to be the big impact player for both of these teams as we get into this first game?
I think it's, for me, mostly looking at, it's like Moogie and Young 11. I mean, we've been hyping up Young 11 a lot, but I think it's with good reason. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the Void, and for Newbee, it's an anti-mage lineup, so it's always going to center around the anti-mage in a lot of ways. KP's Legion Commander to me is also sometimes being a little bit boom or bust. Like he's either, and that's just Legion Commander as a hero, I think as well. You're either doing really well and snowballing dual kills and getting solo kills, and your item progression is going great, and you've got your blade mail so you can kill whoever, or you took 20 minutes to farm a blink, and now whenever you jump in, you just die to Mystic Flare. So yeah, we'll see which version we get.
That's a very good point. KP again, he's done pretty well so far today. The past series obviously is a good example. But, you know, yeah, don't listen. We're not going to talk about that. That's not a him issue. That's a Beastmaster issue. And apparently that hero is broken. I mean, maybe not broken, but he's pretty good. Wild Axes is against Tide. That is a really smart max. That's a great max ability. Just destroys the Tide Hunter. So, but anyway, we will have the immediate Vici 5-man push down to the bottom lane. So far, we have Newbee only moving 2 heroes up to the top lane. They will find that nobody is up here. They'll drop a ward, in fact, in the meantime. And we get things underway. This best-of-5 final now into Game 1. The draft is done. Vici Gaming, of course. They just came off of a second-place finish at Dota Pit. Of course, beating out Newbee in the lower bracket finals. Losing to Liquid in the grand finals. So Vici might be the favorites here. And both of these teams looking for a trip to Washington, D.C. in the middle of winter. We have only 2 slots, or rather only 1 slot left. This is the last slot to determine who makes it to Captain's Draft 4.0. OG, they just punched their ticket earlier today, so still a lot to be figured out with this BO5 final. And hopefully we get a full 5-game series. Hopefully it's hype. And we'll start things off by looking at how these lanes are shaping up for both of these teams here, Baseskip.
Yeah, so it looks like it is going to be more than likely that aggro, well, maybe not even the aggro that I was talking about for Vici. The supports are sticking together, but they are actually just going to be putting the Void down here. Are Newbee also going to try and adjust their lanes, I wonder?
They might. They have a ward that'll scout out. Actually, ward's not even going to see anybody. They might have seen the support rotating up Fenrir. All right, well, there's the pause, but I think it's just some lag issues. Paparazzi's got to figure something out and disconnecting real quick. Maybe a bug. We shouldn't be delayed too long, but yeah, I don't know. They're kind of, Kaka was blocking mid. He has a TP scroll. We'll see if they, so this will be, where's the Skywrath? He's bottom. Oh no, he's going top. Lanham is staying bottom. So I think KP can actually do okay up here as long as this Lanham Ench doesn't rotate anytime soon, but who knows? All right, we're getting back into the game. The unpause is coming, and here we go. So yeah, 2-1-2 right now for Vici. Again, that could change rather quickly because of the TP scrolls. We'll keep our eyes peeled. We'll see everybody's heading and what Lanham can find at the beginning of this game down bottom against Moogie and Faith. Oh, that's actually not good. It takes a lot of damage on Dazzle. He has Tangos running. He has a Shadow Wave, so I guess he's fine. No big deal. Lanham uses his enchant, so 20-second cooldown, but it's not going to be up anyways. Not that they need it, because again, the creeps haven't spawned. They won't spawn for another 10 seconds. So we'll keep our eyes peeled about this laning phase.
Yeah, the wave is going to get shoved here because he cast the Shadow Wave, so just going to push forward a little bit. they're trying to deny really heavily to get it back under control, but this actually might just be fast levels for Young 11 since I don't think there's any way to stop this double range creep. Yeah, and he's already realized, like, he knows that the lane equilibrium is totally jacked. There's nothing that Newbee can really do to salvage it at this point, especially with no pulls or anything. So Young 11 is, I mean, doesn't have eyes, but he's eyeing up this wave for juicy level 2 or level 3.
There's the poison touch. He doesn't have time walk for 5 seconds. He's also going to get mana drained by Moogie's mana break. Mud Golem coming in on him. That will be the creepy enchants for now. Apparently, this ward does block. It looks like it was just out of the camp, but it's going to block it. It's obviously the pull camp is not there for the rating, which is a bit unfortunate. Now they can't get this wave back in their favor. And like you mentioned, Young 11 is going to get a lot of experience out of this too. And now Moogie is going to have to blink away as Lanham's pressuring him. So pretty good stuff for the Faceless Void, all things considered. But Moogie is still going to CS fine. So.
And this, the Crimson Witness version of these Void braces kind of makes it a little bit confusing as to whether or not he's got Mask of Madness activated.
Yeah, that's true.
I would imagine that it's kind of confusing later on.
Yeah,
he may not even get MOM in this game. He is off lane, so maybe not a big problem.
Oh, the double shard golem, but they have the poison touch to come out along with the shadow wave, so Moogie will be fine. He has 8 tangos rolling, one of them right now in his salve also to back him up. KP in the top lane, 0 last hits. This is going to be tough. Void is 8, so obviously in terms of off lane, bottom's going way better. And probably will continue to do so. And they are committing 3 heroes bottom to try to pressure Young 11. He's still getting farm. So not really great news for Newbee at the start of this game in that regard.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they've given Fenrir this opportunity to get the Null Talisman level 1. And Lamb kind of picking up the brunt of the support duty since he doesn't really need too many items at the beginning of the game as Enchantress. But it just made it that much easier for them to completely zone KP out of this top lane. He's got experience. I mean, experience range is much longer than much further than it used to be. So still soaking nicely, but like you said, 1 last hit to his name.
Yeah.
Right now.
I guess the good news is you're a Legion. You can kind of jungle with a Moment of Courage, but there's no Iron Talon anymore. Apparently there's some lag. I did feel some server lag at the beginning of the game. That's probably just on my end. I don't think that's really an issue that Newbee are having. And clearly Vici are having some issues. Everybody's disconnecting. We've got Paparazzi DCing, Ori's DCing. I'm sure both of these teams playing from a team house, one would assume anyway.
I would think so, yep.
That's just how it goes in China. And we will wait and see as we get back into the game. So, yeah, I mean, Legion's not getting a whole lot, but like you said, maybe he gets some experience, he gets boots, and he gets involved in a duel or two, and things go well. We haven't really talked about mid, though, either. Ori versus SCCC. 11 last hits for both of them. Ori has a slight advantage in experience and denies. Very slight advantage. The experience is really just a little bit going his way. But I don't know. Other than that, Ori will probably get level 6. He'll probably rotate around and get active early, one would assume. Maybe even SCCC does the same. I don't know.
Gyrocopter mid is so annoying to play against. Like the homing missile spam is going to be a real nuisance. I wonder how long SCCC is going to be able to sustain here. It does have the raindrop queued up, which is certainly going to help. But I like Gyro mid, actually. I think I might like Gyro mid a little bit more than I'd like him in the safe lane. It depends on the kill potential of your tri-lane and that kind of a thing as well. But the hero does definitely rotate really well early on. In terms of whether or not he'll be able to rotate to kill the anti-mage, that's maybe another question, but
right.
Shutting down the other heroes should be fairly straightforward.
Yeah, maybe in conjunction with the Chronosphere from the Void, but that's still ways away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they still have to like edge Chrono in that case so that they can get the Rocket Barrage.
Right.
I mean, early on, AM's only going to have the 1 point in Spell Shield, right? So they still can do pretty significant damage to him.
Right. I mean, for now, though, AM will be able to farm well. Obviously, Gyro is still getting his levels. We've seen a lot of Immortals mid-Gyrocopter for MP. In fact, they like the hero in general. They pick it up whenever they can for MP. At least they have in this particular tournament, although they did lose to Complexity with Gyrocopter. But teams are starting to pick it up more and more, I feel like. It's starting to come back into favor. Whereas last patch, it wasn't really touched that much as far as I can remember. It didn't feel like a popular hero. Now Gyrocopter's getting picked a lot more, so.
Oh, Young 11, one more hit. He's at him on it.
Yeah, he has no time walk available. He's going to get hit again. He's just straight at 1 man at this point. He is not nearly enough to be able to time walk away, and he's not going to regen enough fast enough. Although, he is eating his way through, but Kaka will find him. He's got the Fisher. He will hit the wall. Shadow Wave comes in. Young 11 just gets enough mana to time walk away at the tail end there, and he survives somehow. Oh, he got the mango? That was what it was? I was wondering, like, where did he get that mana from? Oh, my God. The plays from Young 11.
Juked for days, except now time walks back on cooldown for a little bit, and needs to not get mana burnt again by the anti-mage.
He's fine. He's fine. Maybe.
There's no mango this time.
Yeah, but he's still got plenty of mana to work with.
Yeah, he's okay. Newbee have done a good job to reset this lane's position, though. I got to give them some credit for that. Looks like Mugi should be able to hold it here. Definitely a skill that not that that's being probably, it was de-emphasized for a little bit on carries. Young 11 taking some damage.
He has no time walk. Enchant Totem comes out, but Young 11 will still find this. Yeah, exactly. No aftershock, so the stun doesn't come in. He actually might die. He has 5 seconds. They need one more auto attack. The poison touch keeps getting reset, but he has one more time walk ready to go. He's fine. He will be able to make it away. Very close. He does get the bounty rune, but he will have to back up. On the other side, though, KP has to do the exact same, and he's still a level behind that of the Void. Now mid, they're setting up for a potential gank as Triple C. Here's the homing missile. He will leap away. He doesn't have any more. And here comes the double Centaur Conqueror stomp available. Arrow will take down one of them, and Kaka's going to be here to help out as well. So Triple C is fine, actually. It's a heavy rotation committed, and now KP's running in. Overwhelming Odds is available. They're going to turn on him. He actually might need to run. He will do so with the Overwhelming Odds. Concussive Shot comes in. Obviously, they won't really do anything. Kaka still has another Fisher. Doesn't have enough mana for it, but he does have 7 charges. The Shard toss coming in from the Mud Golem. Kaka's still getting chased down. He's going to turn onto this Mud Golem and try to take it down the Enchant Totem. The Shrine just comes up as it's 5 minutes. Overwhelming Odds won't go. Not trying to take that down and waste a little bit more mana. So that was a weird turn of events in the mid lane. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ori was like 15 mana short or something of being able to use the Flak Cannon. I think if he has Flak Cannon, they can push the wave under the tower and maybe go for that dive, but no Flak means no kill in this situation. And the Raindrop, of course, from SC, helping him out in the face of all of this non-stop homing missile spam.
Right.
But Vici getting really good farm on their Sven. In terms of kiting the Sven this game, I think Newbee are like decent, not great.
Yeah, and especially if you can get some farm, get a Blink Dagger early, Mask Madness, Paparazzi should have a pretty good game. He doesn't have any stacks yet, as far as I know. He has one here, I suppose. And Lanham will stack again. Arrow's going to sail. I think that's just for Triple C to farm. They missed the Fisher on Ori, so he's fine. There's a DD rune at the top rune spot. Is there a bottle for Triple C? There is. Homing missile's on him, but he's fine. He has the Raindrop to block most of the damage. Although Lanham's going to deny the DD. That is huge. He comes in just at the last second. Wow, that was so close. Triple C is going to have to salve instead of using his bottle, and he won't have a DD to help him secure some more last hits in the mid lane. And Mugi's starting to get harassed bottom because Fenrir has rotated over. Doesn't have a point in the Ancient Seal yet, but now Mugi needs to be more careful in this bottom lane.
And Young 11 starting to get a little bit more farm down here. It looks like he's just going to be going for an Aquila to start out. So I guess that means probably no Vlads this game.
Call down. Ori in trouble as Triple C and Kaka. A lot of damage. Good leap away. Arrow came through. Kaka will get the first blood. He will fall. Another leap down into the river. Triple C should be fine. He doesn't have any more regen. He has one more leap in about 3 seconds. Not that he needs it, I don't think. Lanham's trying to chase him down. I don't know what he can really do. They're going to try to cut off the path of retreat. Here's the concussive shot. The Shrine is up, and Triple C is going to man fight Fenrir at this point. A lot of damage being done. Triple C is still healing with the regen from the Shrine. Kaka's now in, looking for a Fisher. They've got the Nature's Attendants. The Mud Gold coming out. He's got the toss ready. Triple C is still in trouble. He's going to get stunned up, and the Arcane Bolt will get the kill for Fenrir. Now they'll try to find a little bit more damage onto Kaka, but he is fine. He actually, I think, took the bottle from Triple C, tried giving it back to him to fill it back up, but couldn't swap it over in time, so he will hold on to that for safekeeping for a moment. But again, very big kill for Vici Gaming in the jungle there.
Lanham is being such a thorn in SC's side. Denied that DD a little bit earlier, now comes in, chases him down for that kill. Very nice little turnaround plays from Vici, and what's going to happen down here? Faith spotting out Fenrir.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Time dilation, good silence. The Ancient Seal. Fenrir one auto attack away from death, but Mugi's got no blink for another 10 seconds. Good attempt at a TP, but he will still get dropped. Faith might be next. He's got Grave. He'll go for the TP. Do they have any way of stopping this? They need a bash, and they get it. Young 11 just gets the bash. The homing missile wouldn't have gotten there, but Young 11 will secure the kill. He gets the RNG. He has level 1 time lock. the 10% chance secures him a nice little bit of a kill there for Vici Gaming.
10% chance in 3 rolls. That was maybe not as lucky as it looked, but still pretty darn lucky for Vici as they grab that kill. Not enormously significant. It is just the position 5 dazzle, but still going to be nice as they swarm this bottom tier 1. I think this is really worrying if you're anti-mage, losing your tier 1 tower.
Yeah,
this early.
Well, they're going to try to keep it alive. SCCC is here. He's got it in his rune and Kaka. Starstorm, there's the Fisher. They blow away Lanham. Young 11 will time walk off some of that damage. There's the enchant totem finally with Aftershock leveled up for Kaka. He's now level 5. The homing missile's coming in on SCCC, but he's fine. No raindrop to block a lot of that damage. They're looking for more. Young 11 still has another time walk in 1 second. They have Fisher in 8. So Young 11 needs to be a little careful, but he should be fine one way or the other.
AP's getting run down up top.
He sure is. Paparazzi popped the God Strength. He also popped the Mask of Madness, and KP juking around the tree line. He's overwhelming odds in 3 seconds to get that movement speed if he needs it. He's going to eat his way through. KP with Juke City. Paparazzi doesn't have the mana for a Stormhammer. He had a Mango. Doesn't want to pop it, and KP somehow stays alive. Woo. It's a spicy play there from that Leech Commander in the offlane.
Yeah, nicely done. He's going to get his level 6 in just a second as well. Is straight Russian the Blink in this game. Maybe a little bit unusual, but he should be able to link up with SC to go and grab some kills once he has this, and going to be very helpful against the Sven and the Void, especially the Void, being able to jump in and get that lockdown.
Now, speaking of jumping in, they Fisher Fenrir too late. Moogie's a little bit low in HP. If he was a bit higher, he maybe dives that tower, goes for a Mana Void. Against the Skarath feels pretty good, even at level 1, but not going to do so. He's doing pretty well. 500 gold. He already has his Perseverance, so he's just waiting on that Demon Edge to get the Battle Fury. And again, remember, they decreased the cost of the item, making things a lot better for the Anti-Mage, along with all the other changes they made to the hero. And now he has a double damage to work with as well. He's looking to try to fight Paparazzi, perhaps, who has his Mask of Madness. The Moonlight Shadow will come in. Paparazzi sees him, and now he needs to run. And I don't think Paparazzi's going to stay any further. In fact, Moogie's going to try to take some of these last hits. He needs to be careful of that ancient Prowler Shaman who does so much damage, especially early on in the game, but he will back up and farm the enemy jungle instead, so cool stuff there.
Yeah, Paparazzi just taking all the safe farm on the map, not really exposing himself to too much risk. Lamb just gonna come grab some levels up top. Not really a whole lot, not really too much action, a little bit of posturing and stuff going on, though we do have some big abilities coming up and some big items. That first Chronosphere for the Void.
This is a problem for Lanham. Mana Void should come out. They won't get the dual victory, but they will get the kill, which is really important for KP to get involved. And he's even closer to his Blink Dagger now. They kind of baited it. KP was getting run at a little bit by the Enchantress, and Moogie was hiding. He still had that DD, and him getting the kill is also really important. 1,200 gold now. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Fisher comes out. Kaka and SCCC have to be careful. Homing Missile will get put up. They're looking for a Chrono. Young 11 has it. Doesn't pop it yet, realizing the leap is still there for SCCC. And they will have to back away now. They'll try to take down the homing missile. Another leap away, and they get it. 26 gold going to Faith. He's rich. He's rich.
He's done it.
Yes, he sure has.
Nice to see interesting and I think pretty nice to see the anti-mage getting involved early. He does decent damage. That's about it for this stage of the game, but kind of all they need to find a couple of these crucial kills and accelerate him even more, while his safe lane is just constantly under siege.
Yeah, speaking of which, that safe lane tier 1 tower is gone. Now they might lose Kaka as well. They have the Chronosphere, but the arrow's going to hit. They're going to turn on this. They have no Echo Slam, Enchant Totem. Starstorm does more than enough damage. Here comes the Mystic Flare and the Ancient Seal, but still alive. The Grave will come out just in time for Faith. Fisher, Paparazzi needs to be careful. Echo Slam coming in the Enchant Totem. Kaka might die for this, but they'll still get 2 kills. 2 big ones in the course of Vici Gaming, and now Fenrir is going to get chased down as well. The arrow, that would have been sick if SCCC hit it, but he can't find it. Faith, no Poison Touch for 20 seconds. Now the call down coming in. Ori trying to turn this. SCCC, he's going to get silenced up. He's got the homing missile on Faith, so it looks like they're turning for him instead. No leap for SCCC, actually. If they know that, they could have gone for the kill. In fact, he's really low, but they won't be able to get that done. Not yet, anyway. They have another hero coming in. It's going to be Lanham. He's at the shrine, which, of course, SCCC is going to pop. Lanham is a little too far away. He will drop a ward down. That will get them some vision. They'll Moonlight Shadow. They'll know this is happening, and now Ori has to back himself away. He has a TP scroll if he needs to use it to get out, and he will do just that and head to the top tier 1 tower. The scan comes in too late. KP, he had a blink, perhaps. If he blinked a little bit earlier, he could have found that kill, but it would have been very difficult. In the meantime, the AM has finished up the Battle Fury, so quite an interesting turn of events there for Newbee those past couple of minutes.
I mean, that was they'll take that trade, right? The 2 supports for 2 cores. Very nicely done by Faith and Kaka there, especially Kaka running back in after the grave, getting the echo off, and shutting down Paparazzi a little bit is going to be really important, especially with the nature of Sven as a hero, right? He just kind of, he hits this really insane peak, but then past a certain point, it does feel like he starts to get kited a little bit more heavily. So going to be very important for Vici to kind of line up that timing as best they can. Because I think the late game is pretty clearly in favor of Newbee.
Yeah, they're feeling pretty good right now, even in terms of the early game. Smoke up from Young 11. Here comes the Chronosphere. Maybe they were looking for Faith and more. KP, who was in the tree line, blinked away. Now Newbee know this is happening. They see Paparazzi. SCCC can try to arrow him, but he walks into it. He walks into it. Here comes the duel as well. The Starstorm's going to come out. Fisher coming in. Paparazzi's dead first. And now they've dropped the call down, and Kaka might be in trouble. It'll be 1-for-1 trade. Still pretty good. They're looking for a chrono on to 2. Young 11 has found it. There's the Mystic Flare. KP's in trouble. Ancient Seal onto SCCC as well. He can't leap away. Not yet anyways. Getting very low. Sticks up and stays alive. The homing missile. Another jump away. He's got no more left. He's bottling up now. The homing missile is going to do some serious work. And it's a double kill for Fenrir. The Arcane Bolt. Finally, the Chronosphere comes into good use there. And Young 11, again, making these giant plays for his team to get him back in it and get a 3-for-1 trade.
That was tough. They had everybody up there. Newbee were not anticipating that Vici would have all 5 right around the corner. Great chrono. I was just about to mention, like, oh, 13 minutes, we haven't really seen a Chronosphere just yet. Young 11 not having too huge of an impact despite some pretty decent farm, but shows up big, so I'll have to eat my hypothetical words there. And Newbee just back to defending their tower. That's at least the one nice thing, is that they do have pretty decent spam between the Shaker and the Legion Commanders, so they can kind of slow down the pace of this game for their anti-mage, who is looking pretty darn good already.
Yeah. Mugi 7.2k.
It's only 15 minutes, actually.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
He is farming extraordinarily well. I do want to bring up a topic that we were kind of talking about in the draft when we saw the hero picked, which is the Skywrath Mage. He has double null tally already. He's going to get treads. We talked about how he kind of slows down a little bit in the mid game, perhaps. But in terms of his farm, he's looking pretty good for where he supports Skywrath Mage. He's actually above that of the Earthshaker. Kaka's not really getting the most farm in the world to begin with, but still, Fenrir's did a really good job kind of combining it with Young 11 to find a lot of these kills and get some farm for himself.
Yeah, I wonder if he might actually just go and complete the Veil with the 2 nulls. Enchantress is actually going for an Atos as well, so just between the 2 supports, Vici will have a ton of kill potential, which is always a really nice thing to have. I mean, they can't, the same can't really be said for Newbee. Oh.
Echo Slam comes out, but he gets Ancient Sealed, so he can't complete the follow-up with the Fisher and Chantotem, and he will get dropped down. Paparazzi, that he actually has his Blink Dagger. It was revealed there. I don't think he used it, so they might not have noticed. Meanwhile, top lane, Lanham's about to get dueled. There it is, and a Mana Void should complete this up and get them the duel victory, and it will, and Mugi will get the last hit, which secures him even more farm, as they have a Yasha. But now, they will lose their tier 1 tower mid, potentially, as the Glyph will come in. Paparazzi still has God Strength for a moment longer. And 1-for-1 trade across the map of the tier 1 is really the important thing. And maybe we have a tier 1 trade coming in for both teams.
Young 11, not really a hugely impactful play, but nice little heads-up play. He tanked the arrow for the Sven in that fight, saw it coming, and I knew that he could just dive in front of it. So no opportunity at all for anybody to get that kill. Kaka now just getting found out.
In a lot of trouble. Silenced up. This Ancient Seal has actually done a lot of work against Kaka. Fenrir has been on point. It's in fact level 3, so the silence duration is 5 seconds. It's quite considerable for somebody like an Earthshaker who won't even survive that long to begin with. Nice little kill there from Vici Gaming. And all right, they're starting to make moves.
Exactly what's going on up here. He's like KP was kind of hiding in the trees a little bit. I don't think they had kill potential, but he enchants the creep, sends it right in, and says, "Look, guys, I know what's going on. Just get out of here."
You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah. Lamb having a pretty darn good game on this Enchantress. I feel like we've seen some Enchantress and Chen like fall a little bit flat in its face from time to time, but actually today has been quite good with the Chen play and the Enchantress now. So he's looking solid. I haven't seen exactly how the distribution's been working out in terms of who's been buying the wards. I would guess that it's probably still Fenrir doing the majority of the warding, but it does seem like Lamb's helping out for sure.
Yeah, he's trying to get some extra space for Fenrir to complete whatever he wants. That Veil, like you talked about, is probably the next item on the list, but he's still a ways away after getting the treads, which is kind of an interesting choice. I guess it gives you tankiness and maybe more intelligence to work with if you want it. So it's not like you don't really see treads too much on a Skywrath Mage. You usually can't get to that point, but he's farmed enough that I guess it works out. So I like it. He has the wards as well. And Cock is dead again. Ancient Seal, you're dead. They've killed him like 3 times in a row because of that Ancient Seal. Not that he would have survived anyway, but still.
This poor guy's blink just keeps getting set further and further back, which is definitely worrying if you're Newbee. At least the anti-mage is farming really well. SC also doing pretty decently. This ward is being so valued for Vici as they now scout the Moonlight Shadow being popped, and will be able to back up a little bit.
They don't see KP walking in. He was looking at the tree line. I think he almost found KP and Fenrir. Arrow's going to come in. We'll see Fenrir. Will go for the blink duel on him. They actually scout KP, I think. They're sitting here. Young 11, now he sees him, I think. He walks up a little bit further. They're looking for the chrono. Oh, a whiff. What a leap away from SCCC. The duel comes out, and Young 11 is in trouble. Mystic Flare. The Grave comes out perfectly timed. Echo Slam. It's actually turning disastrously for Newbee. They're going to lose 2 at this point. 3, in fact, as KP gets dropped down as well. Fenrir was waiting for the Mystic Flare drop. They were waiting to jump back in. Paparazzi coming in and blowing away another. He's going to find Faith. 4 are dead. Vici not only take down 4, they're going to get the tower more than likely as well. And Mugi just has to farm top and do whatever split pushing he can as Vici obliterate the rest of Newbee.
I mean, Mugi farming a bit, puts some pressure on Young 11, but he just jumps away. And Vici doing so well in terms of having their heroes in the right place at the right time. Very patient, waiting in those trees. And pretty well, not surprising, but just goes to show the kind of position that they're in and the kind of peak that their lineup is hitting, that they're able to win that fight with a completely empty
Chronosphere. Yeah. That's impressive. I was thinking, okay, this fight is over, but they turned around. They had the Mystic Flare at the ready. It was a good Grave from Faith, but like already that pretty much kills the Legion Commander because she gets super low. They have Paparazzi jump in, and of course Kaka gets silenced again for the millionth time, so he can't get his combo off. And
these wards from Vici, I don't know if they scouted this. Oh, maybe they did scout this smoke as well. Oh man, Newbee, just every rotation.
Yeah, this is.
I think this one's mostly for wards, but they would like a kill if they can find it. But Vici might just dangle some bait.
Yeah, Lanham is the bait here. The duel gonna come out. He misses the blink. Actually, it's time to leave. And Chant will come in. The call down will slow him, but he won't get hit by the second tick. Here's the Moonlight Shadow. The Atos coming in. They will hit the arrow onto the Centaur Conqueror. Paparazzi now chasing him down. They should have detection available. They're trying to chase down Faith instead. It will be able to get away just narrowly. KP's not going to be so lucky, of course. Try being around the side, but there's a ward here along with the sentry. So they're able to get at least one of those kills. In the meantime, Mugi will split up the map. He will continue to farm. He is the, I don't want to say lone bright spot for Newbee, but they need him to do a lot of work this game, I think, for this Radiant team.
Yeah, that is for sure. He's going to be going for the Ags next, so makes him a little bit more difficult to catch while he's split pushing, but at the same time, Void is going to be going for a Shadow Blade, so it is still going to be possible. Young 11 picking up the pace in terms of the farm. And Newbee, once again, maybe looking for something.
This could be big if they can get this kill. Not going to be easy. Oraze and SNY is very fast. And there still is no blink for Kaka.
Yeah, it has to be like a Fisher arrow or just a random arrow, which is not a reliable initiation. And Young 11, he's itching to use this Chronosphere. They're going to go for a smoke from mid.
Yeah, they have a pretty good idea. They have a pretty good idea of where some of these heroes are, although Faith is going to tank it. Not the hero they want, but they'll use it anyway.
Interesting that they used it.
There's the Mystic Flare. I was going to say, they're really holding on to these abilities, but they did finally drop it. So no Grave obviously available for Faith, but it is going to be Chronosphere down. Will give some room to work with for Newbee. And I don't know if that really is going to matter, honestly.
Yeah, and Newbee is starting to become pretty synonymous with just Mugi at this point, because he's the one he's carrying all their hopes and dreams. He's got almost double the net worth of anyone else in his team.
Well, let me put it this way. Can he 1v5 them at any point in this game? Like when he gets more farm? Like, is there even that possibility?
I think maybe, yeah. I think it can certainly happen. You can definitely burst the gyro or the void quite easily. Sven might be a little bit more of a task, but it's gonna take a while to get to that point. And it's not like, I think the other thing is that because he's playing against the Sven, he's not actually building that much of an advantage over the Sven. So Paparazzi really wanted to go on Kaka mid probably, but in the end,
it's all right. He reuses it for Roshi anyway.
Yeah, efficiency.
But
Vici just cruising. Their timings are lining up perfectly. They're getting all these items. They're locking in towards BKBs. Already BKB up for the gyro. BKB going to be up for the Sven in 1 item's time. They give the Aegis over to the Void, which I quite like because the way that their fight could go really badly is if, say, Void gets dueled and blown up, and then they kind of get chased down from there. So making sure that they guarantee a decent chrono pretty much every fight, or in this next fight, is going to be a big deal.
They're going to go for the duel, but this is kind of a bait. BKB came out perfectly timed from Ori. That is huge. They were waiting for it. They baited it up the entire time. Fisher will come in, but they will lose KP. It's time to leave if you're Kaka. He's dusted. No. He will be in the Moonlight Shadow, in the tree line, safe and sound, at least for now. That was his blink reveal, or at least it should have been. Mugi's still going to get chased down potentially. Young 11 has no... He actually has Chrono in 5. Mugi needs to be careful, but... Man, that BKB timing from Ori and the ward. KP was sitting right underneath it there, and wow. Beautifully done from Vici.
Did Kaka try and go for the enchant totem first instead of...
I didn't see.
Straight... He didn't echo him, so he must have tried to... Whoop, they want this Sven.
This is so dangerous. They're going to find him. Oh my god, they actually get the kill. Echo Slam used bottom. That's huge. I didn't even see it.
That is a sick pickoff.
Wow.
That is a really sick pickoff. Like, they're even playing down here with relatively little vision. If you switch it over to the Radiant Vision, they just have this one ward over here, but I think they probably caught a glimpse of a couple of heroes running off to the side.
Yeah, I think so.
And they kind of knew that, oh, this Sven is probably alone down here. And he's just expecting to shove that wave, that exact wave that he died for, and then blink away, and he'll be home free. But really good job by Kaka sticking around a little bit longer.
Yeah, that is excellent work from Newbee to find that kill. In the meantime, Sven will disconnect. It looks like he's having some computer or lag issues, one of the two. And Mugi getting involved in that kill. He's actually 3k ahead of the Sven. He has an Aghanim Scepter now. How can they lock him down? I think Chronosphere is really the only way, short of breaking the Spell Reflect. Yeah, that seems to be about it. They have do they have anything else to lock him down with? Not really, right? Atos maybe, I get, but they have to break the Spell Reflect for Mugi. So he's looking pretty strong.
Popping the Lincoln's effect is pretty expensive for them, I guess. I mean, I guess the enchant maybe is it's like a good way to activate it and then potentially lock him down after that, but then still the Manta style to potentially deal with.
Right, and I even forgot about the Manta. Yeah, the Ancient Seal now, which was really good at the beginning of the game for killing Kaka, is going to be really hard to use it on the AAB. You don't want to silence yourself first and foremost, and then even if you get the silence off of him, he's just going to Manta it off. So that is actually a very good point. So Chronospheres are going to have to be pretty good. We have a pause for a bathroom break. It looks like Faith saying somebody's in the bathroom. We'll take a second here, I think. So again, I mean, it comes down to Mugi and Kaka now with a blink tagger. I think Newbee can easily get back in this game. They're only down 5k net worth. This is not the end of the world for them. They're going to have to find some big duels. They need to get vision back in their favor. Maybe even get a gem. Would you consider that an idea that you would go for Newbee, potentially?
Yeah, I'd be okay with picking up a gem in this kind of situation where you just need to buy some more time to split the map, you know, kind of keep your heroes safe, because a couple of crucial pickoffs from Vici is going to completely snowball this game so that they can keep, like, get the tier 3, take the shrines, etc., you know, usual kind of high ground checklist.
Right.
But there is some, you know, there's some other stuff happening for Newbee as well. It's not just 100% the Mugi show. Like, once KP picks up this Blade Mail, they have quite a bit more kill potential on the Vici cores. All of them, that's the one interesting thing about the Vici lineup, or I guess the Legion Commander this game, is that all of the Vici cores actually hit relatively hard. So if you can get the Blink Blade Mail duel off, KP can actually still remain relevant later into the game, even without that much farm, which is one of the nice aspects of the Legion Commander this game.
Right.
But yeah, we will see how these next few minutes play out. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, the real question is, what do they do with this Aegis? They would like to take down towers. They would like to find this anti-mage with a Chronosphere. Obviously, like you mentioned, the one time where Vici could just straight up lose a fight is if they lose the Void and he doesn't have Aegis on him. They don't have Chronosphere, and all of a sudden that fight kind of just ends. It goes Newbee's way, but instead he will have the Aegis to back him up, and it looks like Vici will move together. Young 11 Shadowbladed for a moment. Now they will rotate everybody in mid. Fenrir, by the way, I think you guys just saw this, but he just purchased up a Veil of Discord, which is really going to add to the damage that Vici have already, especially the Gyrocopter. And they will move to the top of the map. Mugi is, of course, split pushing. He's got the Manta Illusions to come through. He has Blink. He has the level 20 talent Blink Uncontrollable Illusion, which is pretty nice. They need to be careful, though. He might be able to get up, but the rest of Newbee need to position themselves in such a way where they don't get caught by the smoke of Deceit gang coming in. And they're about to find, potentially, Dazzle. But he's at the tier 2 tower. Vici will drop a ward down, and it's going to be spotted by a sentry. So they know that they are smoked up and in this vicinity. So finally, Newbee have an understanding of what's going on, and they can maybe play a bit more cautiously here.
This is nice. They're getting all the lanes into a pretty decent position. The other thing to mention is that Vici's high grounding is not that good, or their siege potential is not that good. You know, they can throw some Enchantress creeps at it, they can steal some catapults, Gyrocopter can maybe chip a little bit, but that's not really what their lineup is built to do. And in the face of the Newbee spam, it is going to be pretty difficult for them, I think, to make it up onto the high ground. But this is a really crucial moment, whether or not they can force Newbee back, because they're split pushing on 2 different lanes.
Yeah, exactly. That is a problem for sure for Vici. They'll have to choose a lane to head back to. They might lose. They're going to lose one of these towers. We'll lose both of them. It looks like they're TPing back bottom. Illusion's doing a pretty good job, but they're both in deny range, both of these tier 2s. I think KP's going to sit top, wait until the wave pushes in, and go for a last hit on this tower. Looks like that's what... Nah, he's TPing. I'm just kidding. He's got his blade mail now done. That is a huge timing for Newbee to get that type of rotation. Yeah, they take the tier 2 in the mid lane for Vici, but they don't lose anything else, and they're going to get 2 tier 2s out of it eventually. These will go down at some point in the near future. Anyway.
Ooh, all right, so Mugi's got his Basher now. He's getting pretty scary.
He is the large.
Yeah. What's Sven going for? I think Paparazzi keeps switching his decision in terms of his item. I saw the Lincolns before, then I saw the Daedalus queued up. Now he's back to Lincolns. The Lincoln seems like an all-right choice, but we may already be getting into that section of the game where we talk about the Sven starting to fall off, or his impact kind of starting to dwindle relative to his net worth.
Well, he's gonna try for Mugi. Spell Reflect comes out instantly, and he's out of there. He mantas as well, just to make sure he stays alive. In the meantime, Moonlight Shadow, as Young 11 has spotted Kaka, and actually vice versa. He's going to try to get out. His Aegis is still up for another... Actually, it's gone now. 1 second. So this Aegis going to be reclaimed. And he needs to be very careful.
Trying to understand, what is even the point of casting Stormhammer there? Like, he BKB'd so that he could cast Stormhammer, and then when it got reflected, it wouldn't stun him, but...
I don't know, maybe he thought it would...
He just used his 10-second BKB for nothing.
Sometimes you gotta just be reminded about how mechanics work. I'm sure there's a reason why he did it, I just can't think of one off the top of my head.
Does he think that it works like Lotus Orb?
I think so. I think he thinks that it's just gonna... It's one or the other.
Lincolns.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think that it was just a small mistake. It is the 10-second BKB, you're right, and it's still down for 25 seconds.
That is no small mistake.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, Baseskip. You know what? I just don't know what else to say. That's it. I just don't know what else to say.
Paparazzi's such a good player as well. It's like, to me, it seems a bit uncharacteristic, but I think it also reflects a sense of frustration with the position of this game. Vici, they were cruising. They were taking big, long strides. And now somehow they're like lost in the woods and they don't know where anybody is. They can't kill anything. They can't seem to get off of their side of the map. They're looking at the fact that they had this Aegis just before and they're like, we're super strong. It's getting whittled away. They're getting there's some guerrilla warfare going on from Newbee. They're right in their element.
I certainly like this move. Vici are nearby, so if Paparazzi gets jumped, they are going to try to bait this. Nice, you Stormhammered yourself. Now he's going to get dueled. There's the Abyssal. Was that a bait? I don't think so. I don't think that was a bait. I maybe gave them too much credit there for a moment.
What was that?
They will have a chrono onto Mugi, but where's the damage? Mystic Flare coming out. He has the resistance. He is pretty tanky. There's press the attack. Echo Slam. Counter initiation from Kaka. Mugi's still alive, but he's going to get dropped down. Beautifully done. The Ancient still coming in, and Kaka now in trouble. They're going to get a double kill for Ori. Maybe it was a bait. Maybe I spoke too soon. Vici Gaming. They find the Edge Mage. Sure, they lose Paparazzi, but damn, what an initiation from Young 11 again.
All right, time to go. Let's get these lanes out.
Push.
60 seconds. How much can they get? And how much can they get done? That, I mean, maybe that was a bait, but that also just looked so strange. maybe the first one was a mind game about like, oh yeah, I don't know how your Aghanim Scepter
He was setting
works.
it up.
Like, Yeah, he was doing the next level.
Dude, it's the long con.
Next level mind game long con.
That was the longest con I've ever seen, but it worked. Meanwhile, Young Eleven's gonna get dual blade mailed up and killed. You're right, they do a lot of damage. I mean, Young Eleven, he's hitting himself. Yeah, exactly. He just destroyed himself. They didn't even need the Shadow Wave from the Dazzle. It just owned him.
Yep, KP just taking his hand, slapping Faceless Void in his own face.
Yeah, stop hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself.
Exactly. So we've got a long con. We've got people hitting themselves in the face. It's been quite the game so far. 2K lead for Vici. What was once about a 6K lead is dwindled. Paparazzi, like you mentioned, he has slowed it down significantly. Still working on this Lincoln Sphere. Trying to figure out how Stormhammer interacts with the spell reflect of the Anti-Mage Aghanim Scepter. I think he's figured it out now.
Don't worry, once he has Lincolns, then the reflected Stormhammer will not stun him.
Oh.
He's jumped. Well. The arrow. Paparazzi gone.
Yeah, he's dead. See, there's the Abyssal coming out for Mugi. And now they're going to take Roche. What a really timely respawn as well. This must not have been too long. I didn't even check the respawn timer. Like it just came up. So Roshan's going to take it down. This is Aegis and Cheese, by the way. The perfect Roshan to find if you are Mugi and Newbee. So at this point, Vici now, they lose their Sven yet again. And they cannot get to Roche in time. And this will be an easy Aegis and Cheese for Mugi. So, anyway.
Well, you asked me if the Anti-Mage could 1v5, Mott, and I think we're getting to that point.
Yes.
Almost 24k net worth. A lot of the time, it's SCCC who's really the big carry for the team, but you know, this is a pretty grim reminder that Mugi can also do the exact same thing. You give him one of his comfort heroes, you give him the right situation, and he can completely take over the game.
Yeah.
And Vici, I mean, they just look a bit lost. They got the support sitting in the base. The Gyrocopter, knowing that they can't really fight without the Sven, is just furiously pushing out the bottom lane. But
it's getting a bit tough. It's starting to feel like Young Eleven's going to have another massive Chronosphere here, and things will get a lot harder because, again, Mugi will get more farm. He's almost level 25, and he could just get another plus 25% spell shield at that point. And then you really can't kill him. Although, I don't know. We'll see. He has 24,000 net worth to the 18,000 of the Gyrocopter, so they'll try to make a go into the SCCC. It looks like the Aegis will come out. That'll break the Lincoln Sphere. He'll leap away again. They really want to take down this homing missile. It's going pretty speedily. They'll press the attack. Now he'll throw an arrow. Looking for the Chrono. He will find it. And the Courier along with it. So Young Eleven getting it done. The Grave will come in. SCCC has Cheese to work with. They're going to try to turn, it looks like. Mugi's in the back lines trying to jump in. Now he's going to come through. Ori has no BKB. Blink away. Now he's going to get jumped on. There's the spell reflect. Echo Slam. Kaka. Great jump in. There's going to be the duel. They'll take one down. Paparazzi. He cannot win this man fight now. Ori's trying to do the same. Mugi still has the Aegis to work with. The Abyssals back up in 18 seconds. There's the homing missile. The Grave will come out. Press the attack. And Paparazzi gets bashed up immediately. He has no mana left. And Mugi will take him down. It's going to be a 3-for-2 trade. And now Lanham's going to get jumped on as well. The Untouchable might save you for a moment. But Mugi is about to jump in, get another bash. The Atos spell reflected onto Lanham. He's trying to do whatever he can, but the urn will take him down. 4 dead for Vici Gaming. SCCC will certainly be happy with tanking the gank and then getting Mugi to just go ham. As now it looks like Newbee will try to take a set of racks along with Mugi owning there.
Can somebody like link Vici the description of how Anti-Mage's Aghanim Scepter works? I mean,
Well, not this game. Lanham's going to get caught, won't get killed. The buyback did come in. They need to be a little bit careful. Mugi, he has Aegis still, but he's not necessarily unkillable. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he is unkillable. He has the 25% spell shield. He will continue to make these illusions. He will continue to push out the waves. Aegis is still there for another, looks like 2.5 minutes or so. The tier 3 will fall. Now they can either choose to back or just have Mugi go to work on the racks. And it will be the latter. Although Young Eleven is coming in, he doesn't have Chrono for another 20. And I don't think Mugi really cares. So SCCC's back up. There's a duel along with the Fisher, perfectly timed. They're going to find Ori, even with the Butterfly. He can't live. The Abyssal coming out. There's the Mana Void. He'll have to buy back almost certainly. 11 has his Chrono back up in 5 seconds. You need to leave if you're Newbee. They will lose KP on the other side. Nicely done. Kaka might get caught here. Mugi's going to jump back in looking for a first hit bash. The second hit bash can't find it. Chronosphere forced to come out, but this is just going to be for an Aegis on the aim, and they still got Paparazzi on the edge, and so Paparazzi's in trouble. He'll have to pop the BKB. Mugi now graved up. He still won't even lose the Aegis. This is so problematic for Vici. They have to back up now, and they can reset on Newbee's side. With Chronosphere now down, they can heal everybody up with this urn charge and Well, actually, he doesn't have any left, but still, Mugi is unkillable base skip at this point. It is just too difficult to deal with this man right now.
Mugi.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's putting in so much work. I mean, his team also doing well. I got to give Kaka and KP some props for the movements and finding the pickoffs and really making Vici afraid to go and shove out these lanes by themselves. But at this point, the game almost seems like it might just be a foregone conclusion. The Sven is not really all that scary anymore. They can't kill the anti-mage very reliably. The gyrocopter is doing his best to survive and doing some decent damage along the way, but there's no way that he's going to outcarry at this stage.
No, agreed. And this is the problem with the hero we talked about a lot too. And anti-mage right now is just in a really good spot in terms of balance, I think. He will take some hits of impetus as he was working on the tier 3 tower. Aegis is only up for another 30 seconds, so they clearly want to use it. And Kaka, like you mentioned, they've done a really good job. The Fishers with KP being involved, really good. I think if Newbee get 1 kill at this point, they pretty much win the game. 1 core kill, I should say. Atos will come out, and that'll keep him in place for a moment, but he is still fine. Aegis, they've got the press the attack. They have the Grave to work with as well, and Mugi will continue on to this Rack's bottom. There's not really anything they can do. They've silenced him. They've thrown everything they can, but the Abyssal Blade onto Ori. The jump might come in from the Earthshaker, but still, they're really just trying to use this Aegis for Mugi. 4 seconds. He needs to be very careful. He's going to back up. Shadow Wave will come out, and now, if you're a newbie, you just back up. You're happy with what you've accomplished. You wait till next Roshan. You take the shrines, and then you go from there. There's no real reason to get too aggressive, I think, if you're a newbie in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, if Mugi is still feeling worried at all, I feel like he can just grab a BKB as his last item, and at that point, I think he's completely untouchable by Vici. Could consider grabbing like a butterfly or something instead. Probably has more or less the same effect.
Right.
The gyrocopter's got an MKB queued up, but it's going to take him a little bit to grab.
Yeah. And Ori's done a good job this game. I mean, he's done everything he's been able to do. It just... This is anti-mage, the anti-mage effect, in fact, giving enough room for Mugi to essentially, like we said, 1v5. He now has a double damage rune. He's actually about to blink into Young 11. They might actually get this kill if he's not careful. And no, they don't want to go on him. He blinks away in time. His MKB is done. He has 4,700 gold. He's 30,000 net worth. My God, Mugi is rich. He's literally rich.
Yep. There's no other way to put it, really. He is huge.
Oh, ping.
Vici, what are they doing? They're kind of playing together, doing their best. Oh, paparazzi.
Paparazzi might be dead. There's the Abyssal. He lost all of his mana. He does get off the BKB before the Mana Void comes out, actually, which helps him survive. He still might get bashed up. Too much damage coming in, and they get the duel. The Chronosphere will come in a little too late. They even have the Grave, I believe, up on KP. He's still in trouble, though. He will get dropped, and Mugi's just 1v5ing again. There's the Grave coming out. He'll take down Young 11. Ori's doing a lot of work, but SCCC is in. He's going to get one. Echo Slam comes out. Laudanum is done. SCCC gets the double kill, and he'll find the triple to finish the game. All 5 dead from Vici Gaming and Newbee. They will take game 1 in this best-of-5 series.
Great. I mean, just great resilience from Newbee, right? They held on. They found the crucial pickoffs. That one pickoff on the Sven at bottom, I think, was the most important moment of the whole game, right? Mugi was really starting to get some momentum going, but the Sven was still kind of on